news sa inyo kasi halos nakasubmit kayo on time ng exercise nyo, which is the previous exercise or the exercise 1 for finals is under RC a circuit. Okay, so we have here the RC circuit. So additional variable natin here or indicators or symbol, whatever you may use term on it, the reactance. And since capacitor na yung nakaseries kay resistor, ang tawag na doon is, anong tawag? For those who have reviewed, anong tawag sa reactance pag capacitor ang connected component?
Capacitive reactance, ma'am.
Yes, very good. So that is a capacitive reactance. Counterpart to the inductive reactance. So ganun lang siya. And likewise, since wala namang bago, mako-consider pa rin natin si Z, which is our impedance. Wherein impedance was defined before as the summation of the resistance and reactance connected on a circuit. Okay, so let's move here. We have an example of, is this RC? Yes. We have an example here of a series RC circuit. So the connection is, we have a 3.3 kilo ohm resistor series connected to 2.2 microfarad. So the given is not reactance, but instead, ang given sa circuit natin is a capacitance. Therefore, we should convert this capacitance into an capacitive reactance. Ma'am, paano? Okay, so previously, we have X sub L as equal to omega L or WL or angular frequency times the inductance. Capacitance is actually the inverse of it. Therefore, X sub C is equal to 1 over WC or 1 over angular frequency times the capacitance. Okay, so let's all bring out our calculators. Ilabas natin yung mga kaliwagang calculators nyo. Kindly check complex mode in degrees. So, naka-set up na ba tayo? Okay, baka pala magtaka kayo. Marami tayo sa Zoom ngayon. Kinambine ko na actually from the 3 sets since we all are covering the same topics. And napag-alaman ko na ang set A and B of the NSTP class is combined. So, the original schedule of this class is set C. So, nakikihitch tayo sa schedule ng set C ngayon. Yan. So, na-prepare nyo na siguro yung calculator nyo. Let's input in our calculator. Let's find for the capacitive reactance. So, the chat box is available for those who doesn't want to unmute their doesn't want to unmute their mic, you can use the chat box. Actively naman yung chat box natin. Kaysa magkatayan din tayong magdinigan, you can just simply chat your answer. So hopefully, you are all nakikitugay while we are solving for the given example. So we have here the magnitude of a capacitive reactance to be solved. So let's try to solve. 1 over 240. Saan galing si 240? Saan galing si 240? Here. We have a form based on our material that we must have in AC circuit. The peak value of voltage, sine WT. Yung form na yun, yung may sine WT. So with respect to this given, W here stands for the 240, which is katabi lang siya ni T. So kindly jot down note. Okay? So in this form, we have VP or the Vmax times sine WT plus 45 degrees. The 45 degrees is an additional angular of given force. So parang may frequency na nadadagdag sa audio ko. Ako lang ba? Or may noise? Meron ba? Or ako lang? Pak sa device ko lang. Wait lang.
Wala naman po, ma'am.
Okay, sige. Very good. At least, kala ko naka-open yung isang mic ng device. Ayan. So, let's try to input in our calculator 1 over 240, which is given on the circuit. Dito yung 240. Huwag kayong malito kung saan siya kinuha. Times the capacitance. The given capacitance is 22 microfarad. Okay, so micro stands for times 10 raised to negative 6. Times 10 raised to negative 6. What is your answer?
Same lang po, ma'am.
Paanong same? Ano yung decimal niya? I guess hindi siya flat.
1893.939394, ma'am.
Okay, very good. So tama si Carl. So lahat ba is ganon ang napalabas sa calculator?
Yes
Opo.
po.
Okay, very good. So since magnitude lang naman yung hinahanap natin dyan, we will consider the whole number, which is the 1893.93. I mean the whole entire number, yung walang angle. Pag tinanong kasi, pag hindi kasi na-indicate na magnitude lang yung hinahanap dyan, you should have to indicate the angle negative 90 degrees or negative J. So, lagi-lagi silang inverse ni inductance or the inductive reactance. So, since puro I or puro JJJ lang siya dati kay inductor, iba naman dito. Naging negative naman siya. Likewise, for the solving of their angular, for the reactance of every indicated circuit, lagi silang inverse. Hindi naman sa nag-aaway sila actually. Through the entire circuit operation, nagtutulungan naman pitdi sila. So sa sa formulas lang, theoretically. Ayan. So, para hindi tayo malito. Yan, very good. So may mga nakakuha din sa chat box natin. I have seen. Okay, so, yan. 1893.9, 1893.939 po, ma'am. Okay, so tama. And don't ever forget to the unit ohms. So, naka-ohms na yun. Oh, let's move. What is the required in this problem? Find the total current in the circuit. Okay, so, in phasor form and in sinusoidal form. Okay, so, let's try. Let's solve. So, may reactance na tayo. Next is to solve for the impedance. Para kumpleto na yung circuit natin. Para kumpleto na yung ohmic value nitong circuit natin. So, how? Simply, you just have to consider the resistance given and the reactance that we have solved. Ito siya. Here. So, we have 3,300 squared. The square root of 3,300 plus 1894 squared. Tapos square root mo yun. Tama ba na 3805 ang magnitude?
Yes.
Ito pa lang. Okay,
Tama
tama.
po.
Ngayon, kindly input in your calculator 3,300. Okay. 3,300. Ay, wait. $3,300 minus. Ito. Minus J1895. Nakikita niyo yung cursor ko? This one. Kasi yung ginamit natin kanina is the Pythagorean theorem step. Pero pwede nyo siya agad sa calculator in complex form. You just input 3,300 or the resistance part. Minus J na siya. Bakit minus? Kasi nga capacitor yung nakaseries kay resistor. Then the value of the capacitive reactance. So, kindly check kung pag input natin to, tapos kinonvert natin, shift 2, 3, parehas na ganito ba ang lalabas?
29.86 po yung nakuha ko mo.
Okay, 29.80.
Negative 6, ma'am. Negative 29.86 yung nakuha ko.
Ma'am,
Okay,
sa
okay.
akin po, negative 29.85 for me.
Negative 29.8523.
Okay.
Negative 29.85, ma'am.
Yes, how about the others?
Same
Okay.
lang po, ma'am.
Same din. Sa akin naman is 3804.896319. Angle, negative 29.85, 32, 11, 95. Are we the same? Parehas ba tayo? Syntax error na daw kay Kenneth. So, baka ano lang. May namili ka lang na symbol or nadoble mo yung point mo. May, wala namang point.
Okay na po, ma'am.
Okay na. So, yan. How about the others? The correct answer is negative 29.85, 32, 11, 95. So, ganun lang. So, paano siya mas madaling matandaan? So, previously, in our inductor, we just have to add plus J or plus I sa calculus. Pag pumunta ka naman sa kay capacitor, minus lang din. They are just inverse. Ganun lang. Okay, so that is how to solve for the impedance of RC series circuit. Okay, hindi pa tayo tapos sa requirement kasi ang hinahanap is current. So how can we solve for the current of this problem? I is equal to the source times the voltage source over the solved impedance. Therefore, we should consider the source. Paano kami kukuha ng source pag ganyan yung given? Paano basahin yan? Okay, so let's check. Here. The given is actually 18 angle 45 lang siya. So previously, from the circuit, ganito ang form. We have here the AC general form. Ganito kasi itsura niya. The Vmax, sabi ko kanina, the maximum voltage, sine WT plus the angle of the voltage, which can be also interpreted as this one. 18 angle 45 degrees lang pala siya. Okay. So let's try to solve for the current. Ito. Using the angle symbol naman. Angle symbol. So we have 18 angle. So kung nakalimutan nyo kung nasa ng angle symbol, that is sin, shift negative sign.
Excuse me po.
Sige.
Ma'am, how did we obtain for 18 angle 45 po? Sorry po, ma'am, di ko po masyado na...
Okay, hindi niya doon narinig. Dito siya galing, Ana. From the given, we have the form, sabi ko kanina, the form of our general AC circuit, the Vmax, sine WT, plus the angle of the voltage. Now, we can also rewrite this as this part, as angle negative 45 here. So you just need to consider the magnitude, which is yung sa labas ng sine WT mo. And WT is actually, our sine WT is actually under the frequency part. So hindi mo siya kailangan pag kinuha mo yung angle. But instead, yung nakakabit kay WT. That will be considered as your angle. So kung walang nakalagay dyan, if it is 18 sine 240, if it is 18 sine 240t lang, tanungin kita, anong magiging angle ni 18 volts?
Ma'am, ako po.
Yes po. Kunyari, ang given is 18 sine 240t lang. Anong magiging angle niya?
90 degrees, ma'am.
0.
Sorry
As
po.
lang naka-indicate dito. 0 yan. 0 siya. So, sin 90 and sin negative 90 is kay reactance lang yun. Okay? Sana huwag kayong malito, Okay lang? Nakuha? Kaya, for example, what if ang given dito is 18 sine 120t plus 65 degrees. So we have 18 na magnitude. Anong magiging angle niya?
65 degrees po.
Okay, so whatever is the na-add dun sa WT mo, yun ang i-consider mong angle ng magnitude mo. Okay? Okay na, Ana?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you po.
Okay, so let's move for the solving for the current. So we have here. So don't be shy to ask questions kasi face-to-face ang exam, ay ang quiz nyo dito, okay? So close formula kayo. And siguro ano lang siya, 1 hour 30 minutes lang. The rest, 1 hour 30 minutes will be a discussion in our first laboratory activity next week, okay? So don't be shy to ask questions regarding this topic. So let's solve. Let's input in our calculator angle negative, I mean 18. Angle 45, that is positive kanina. Since plus yung naka-indicate doon. So kung plus siya dito sa given, syempre, positive yung angle mo. But then if it is subtraction, kung minus yan, minus yung angle mo. So let's consider the positive since positive naman si 40. So we have 18 angle positive 5 degrees over the solved impedance kanina, which is 3805, angle negative 29.85. So what is your phasor form or rectangular form? Pag sinabing phasor form or rectangular form is yung may imaginary sa calculator. Anong lumabas dito sa I?
Ma'am, 4.730617608 times 10 raised to negative 3 po.
That is the imaginary part. What about the magnitude?
1.23, ma'am.
Okay, 1.23, 63 times the times?
10 raised to negative 3, ma'am.
Yes, so, tama ulit siya. Tama si Carl, which is 1.23633241 times 10 raised to negative 3 or milli plus yung sabi kanina which is 4.56620 4663 times 10 raised to negative 3i sa calculator. So I siya sa calculator, ulitin ko, sa calculator lang siya I. But if you rewrite this on your answer sheet, make sure to use the letter J. Okay? So kasi pag ayang nilagay nyo sa answer sheet nyo, madedecode ko siya na ita-times ko pa yung value ng current mo. Okay. So make use of J in terms of I as reflected in your calculator. That is the phasor, the rectangular part. What is the angular? The polar or the angular? In decimal. Kindly convert. 3.
Ma'am, 74.85 degrees po.
Yes, 74.85 degrees. How about the magnitude? The magnitude is the outer value of the angle sign.
4.73.
4.73, ma'am.
0,
Times 10 raised to negative 3 po.
Okay, parehas lang. Milli pa rin siya. Ito siya. Okay, so that is 4.73061768 times 10 raised to negative 3 or milliamperes. Angle 74.85, which is positive. Okay, so pag tinanong kay problem na ibabalik mo siya ulit sa form na yun, this is the formulation. Dito yung ganito yung tsura niya. You just get the magnitude, which is 4.73. Again, sin WT, walang nagbago. Plus 74.85, which is seen as your angle. Kung negative yung angle mo, magiging minus to. But since it is positive, positive. Ganun lang. Any question in number 1? Requirement? Mabilis ba? Pwede nating bagalan? Baka hindi nakakahabol.
Ma'am, sorry po. Ano po ulit tawag dyan sa ganun, ma'am? 4.73 sin. Anong tawag na form po dyan, ma'am?
That is actually a general form in AC circuit. But in other books, they use it as in polar form since may angle. Okay lang.
How about dun sa nauna, ma'am? Anong form po yun, ma'am?
It's angular form. This part is angular. Tapos yung may imaginary that could be considered as rectangular form or phasor form. Yan. Okay na. Yung alin?
Magnitude kanina yung first na ano, metal.
Pag magnitude, pag tinanong yung magnitude, ito lang. Itong whole value niya sa labas ng angle. Saka ka lang makaka-fix ng magnitude pag may pag may angle na. Ito kasi, wait lang, hanap tayo ng may I. Hanap tayo ng may I. Ito kasi, itong gantong form is in phasor form. So, we couldn't identify what is the magnitude of this form. Okay? So, wala ka agad makikita ng ganyang magnitude. So, you can consider the magnitude observation. Pwede mo ma-observe ang magnitude lang in terms pag may angle na siya. Okay? So, once na wala ka pang nakikitang angle sign, wala kang immediately ma-determine na magnitude. So, yun. So, like this one. Nakahiwalay si magnitude, nakahiwalay si angle. Ito kasi is nakakombine pa rin, as you have seen in the conversion under your calculator. So, that's it. Any more additional question? From set B. May tanong ang set B. Si Carl nakakasunod sa set B. How about the others? Check ko nga yung chat box. Wala na eh. Hindi na nasundan yung yung 29.853 which is sa current ko lang. Walang question sa set B. How about set C? Shy type ba ang set C? I believe nagkita-kita na kayo lahat last Saturday. Itong second year abe na to. Buo kayo ata nang kita-kita na sa school last time.
Hindi lahat, ma'am.
Hindi lahat. Yes. Siguro may prior engagement yung iba kaya hindi naka-attend. Anyway, baka magkita-kita na kayo sa campus next week. So, based on your orientation, klase tayo ng Monday. Sino yung klase ko ng Monday? Set C ba ulit?
C po, ma'am.
Okay, set C. Tapos, Thursday, Friday yung dalawa. In short, set C una mag-quiz. Galingan nyo set C. Kaya ngayon pa lang set C, magtanong na kayo para hindi kayo mahirapan sa Lunes. Let's move na ba? Okay, so for number 2 question is just to determine the voltage drop. So how can we solve for the voltage drop? Like the previous examples pala in Ohm's law. Okay, the indicated or the specific voltage with the specific component. Yan. So ganun lang siya. Here kasi, ang question particular is to verify Kirchhoff's. So if you want to verify the Kirchhoff's, the target here is to equate the value of the source and the value of the loads. You can solve that if it is equal. Syempre, nasatisfy natin yung law ni Kirchhoff's, which is conservation of energy. So wala tayo. Sige, go on.
Interrupt you, ma'am. Okay lang po ba pa-record, ma'am? Para po sana sa mga hindi naka-attend.
Marami bang hindi nag-attend?
I mean, yung in-excuse po kanina, ma'am.
Si Jeramil. Hindi mo ba kayang i-tutor sa kanya?
Ay,
Ito lang. As in, mag-input ka lang sa calculator. Ang iniba lang is nakikita lang tayo kasi today. So, wala naman tayong babaguhin dito sa given. No, tutoran mo na lang siya, no? Nakalatag naman lahat ng formulas. Okay lang? Tapos kung sakaling may vacant siya next week, pwede niya akong bisitahin sa office. Since your lab is, I guess, Friday? Friday ba? Friday. Kasi 2B ang Thursday ko eh. Tama ba? Tama ba na mali? Friday?
ma'am, yung po natin,
Friday yung face-to-face natin, di ba?
sa 2A po, ma'am, yes po.
Oo. Yun. So, pwede niya rin akong i-visit if hindi siya masatisfy sa tutorial mo later on. Pwede niya akong i-visit sa office. Okay, so last day naman yun. So, medyo magkikita talaga tayo sa office. So, yun. Okay. Okay, nasa na tayo? Nasa voltage drop na tayo. So, we have here. Try lang natin. Doon nakalagay niyo yung sagot. Try to input in your calculator. Lalo pag dito may mga suffixes, the times 10 raised to -6, -3, -9, mga ganon. Somewhat, may dito nagkakamali yung ibang inputs natin. So let's check if we will be arriving for the same answer. 4.73 times 10 raised to -3 or milli angle 74.85. Times 3,300. Again, if the angle given is 0, you can just simply consider the magnitude lang. What is the rectangular form?
4.079364436 plus 15.0665 o 812 I, ma'am.
Okay, so parehas ulit kami ni Carl. How about the others?
Same, ma'am.
Same lang po, ma'am.
Same po, ma'am.
Same? Ayan, same. Susi, magparamdam kayo utang na loob. Nandiyan pa kayo?
Meron pa po, ma'am.
Present po.
Same naman yung sagot natin?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, very good. So, siguro magkakamukha lang din yung calculator natin, no? Wala dito yung advanced calculator. Meron kasi yung napoprogram na calculator. Yun yung hindi ko pa naaral, kaya hindi ko ma-tutor. May mga iba kasing command. Mas sosyalin kasi yung ibang calculator. Ayan. So, how about the angular form?
74.85, ma'am.
Okay, 74.85. Yung angle niya, what about the magnitude?
15.609.
60.
609. Ayan, 609. So, tama to. Tama pa rin to. How about the voltage drop across the capacitor? I times total current times the capacitive reactance. And is solved. 4.73 milli. Angle 74. .85 times 1894 minus 5 negative 19.
8 po.
What's your rectangular form? Go ahead, Stephen.
Ma'am, yung magnitude lang po may bibigay po, ma'am, kasi wala pong function yung calculator ko po na nung parang sa inyo po.
Ay, ganon. Wait
Yes,
lang.
ma'am,
Anong
kaya medyo hindi po ako nakakasunod.
Anong calculator gamit mo?
350S po, ma'am.
May I see the itsura?
Wait lang po.
It doesn't have any complex mode.
May complex mode po siya, ma'am, pero wala pong function na angle ganun. Kita po ba?
Hindi, ikaw lang nakikita ko.
Ay, wait. So,
Ikaw lang nakikita.
ma'am, picturean ko na lang pa sa GC.
Sige nga. Sige nga, check ko lang.
8.62.
Yung gagamitin mo sa quiz.